Doesn't look like they're going to sign the fight, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All because Eddie Hearn and that want more money. They've already had that much money off of Turkey in the last few years, Eddie and AJ, yeah? They've had boxing deals, they've had darts deals, they've had snooker deals.
You know what, I think people, listen, again, this fight should have happened 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6, 7, 5 years ago. It didn't. It's happening now because Turkey's putting his hand in his pocket. So he's decided to give the public what they want, and the public is saying, well, now you're giving us what you want. We want it our way. And we should be grateful for the fight contract.
Well, I can't really comment on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, what they're doing. All I can comment on our side is we've done everything we can to make this happen in England. We've tried and tried and tried. Now it's, looks like it's going to go abroad. So, Tyson Fury just wants to.
Can you imagine the build up to this fight? The amount of media attention this fight's going to get worldwide. It's going to be frightening, it really is. And I don't think he's got the capability now to be able to deal with that kind of pressure. I don't see that in AJ anymore.
Can you explain that a little bit more, what it was like for you to go back to an arena where you were knocked out?
Right, so when I lost my
Small Turkey, that's Givius. Everything combined is about combined in the last couple of years. I tell you what, it's disgusting, money thirsty, pieces of shit. It is what it is. Same old cliche, a decade
Tyson
later.
Fury has reached breaking point with Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, and the Gypsy King is making his frustration impossible to ignore. Fury is reportedly tired of waiting for Joshua to put pen to paper and finalize the blockbuster heavyweight showdown fans have wanted for years. From Fury's perspective, there have been enough discussions, negotiations, and promises.
Well, as you were kind of saying with Eddie and calling him a dickhead at times, which I thought was a bit unkind, especially as you were getting a delivery of food while you were interviewing him. It was a very weird, it was a brilliant interview, I hasten to add. A very weird interview with you abusing each other, him trying to run off, and you calling him a dickhead.
I didn't call him
promises. Now he wants one thing, a signed contract. Fury has blasted Joshua and Hearn over the continued delay, accusing them of putting business and money ahead of the fight. He has questioned why major deals in boxing, darts, and snooker can move forward while the biggest heavyweight matchup on the table remains stuck in
Cowardly ass men in my life. You got one sausage, up and down on holiday, trying to jump off golf buggies. Has he not learned his lesson? He could break his arm, break his leg, fights off. Don't even give a fuck about the fight. You pieces of shit, cowards. I bent over backwards to make this fight.
Negotiations. For Fury, the message is simple, enough talking. He wants Anthony Joshua to sign. The Gypsy King has also taken his trash talk directly toward Joshua, mocking a recent holiday mishap involving a golf buggy. Fury has used the incident to question Joshua's willingness to take risks, suggesting that AJ is more.
If you want to do that, I'm not doing you no favours, because personally I think, once AJ's finished, Eddie will move into another realm of his life, of what he's deciding to do. That's what I personally think. So he can create as many enemies as he wants at this point. He can say what he wants at this point, because after this fight, I think the landscape will change in regards to Matchroom's head honcho.
More concerned with staying safe than stepping into the ring with him. Whether Fury's comments are genuine frustration or classic psychological warfare, they have certainly increased the pressure surrounding the fight. Fury insists that he has done everything possible to make the matchup happen. He claims he bent over backwards to accommodate Joshua's.
Tyson Fury just wants to fight. He just wants to fight, wants to get on with it, get into camp, do what we've got to do, and, let the best man win.
Side, and believes he has already shown enough willingness to make the fight happen. Yet, according to Fury's narrative, the contract remains unsigned. That has only fueled accusations of stalling and avoidance. Johnny Nelson has added another interesting angle, suggesting that Eddie Hearn's future could eventually look.
I wish Anthony Joshua would still retire even now. I think he's in a dark place on a personal level, don't know if he's ever going to come out of this place that he's in, the hole that he's in. Not his fault, but it is what it is. I don't know that this fight isn't going to give us, let's just say Fury goes.
Very different once Joshua's career begins winding down. Nelson believes Matchroom could undergo major changes depending on what happens during the final stages of Joshua's career. That makes this potential fight even more significant. If Joshua versus Fury becomes one of the biggest events of their careers, its impact could extend.
If that's how you read it, these are about reading. Your truth, my truth, and the truth. It's how you read it. You could read this as Eddie Hearn's trying to square the whole book and get everything paid up to date and get everything signed off, and as you would with trying to square off your accounts in your company and your invoicing and your payments up to date. Yeah. If he is owed money, he's owed money. So he's saying, whether it's related or not, I don't know myself whether it's related or not to the deal with Fury Joshua, but it looks like. And while we're at it, can we sort these things out, please? He's claiming it's got nothing to do, and it may
far beyond the ring. Spencer Brown has also backed the frustration surrounding the negotiations, suggesting that efforts were made to stage the fight in England. If those plans fail, the matchup could eventually take place abroad. For Fury, that would only strengthen his belief that his side is doing everything possible while Joshua and Hearn continue to delay. But not everyone believes the delay is necessarily about fear. Gareth Davies has offered a more business-minded explanation, suggesting that Eddie Hearn may simply be trying to settle financial matters before.
You can hit him, but he's a game guy. He's big as hell. He's a mountain of a man. He can, like I said, he can bang. He's a bit slow on his feet, and he's a bit in front of you. Tyson Fury is definitely the guy who can box. He's definitely the guy who's got more dimensions, more choices, right?
Committing to the fight. If accounts need to be balanced or money is owed, Davies believes Hearn is entitled to deal with those issues first. Fury, however, has little interest in hearing about business complications. To him, a delay is still a delay. And while the negotiations continue, the boxing world is already debating what would happen if Fury and Joshua finally share the ring. Teddy Atlas has broken down the physical and technical matchup and acknowledged that Joshua remains an enormous heavyweight with serious punching power. AJ has enough strength to hurt anyone in the division if he...
When AJ is like he is, he's on a comeback trail, he's had a couple of setbacks, he needs confidence builders, and this ain't a confidence builder. It's a bloody hard fight. It's an hard fight. Southpaws, they're all hard fights. He's a big fit man. He'll have done his work, and he sees his chance now. He's got his chance, Wallen. And a win for Wallen just set.
Lands cleanly. But Atlas also points toward weaknesses in Joshua's movement. Joshua can sometimes appear slow on his feet and too square when standing in front of opponents. Against a fighter with Fury's unusual movement and boxing intelligence, those flaws could become major problems. Atlas believes Fury is the superior technician. That assessment fits perfectly with Fury's own confidence. The Gypsy King believes he can outthink Joshua, control the distance, and exploit the openings that appear throughout the fight. Fury has repeatedly suggested that Joshua's best days are behind him.
Mountains sometimes miss each other on a very rare occasion, and these two have. But it's gone now. It's gone. Both men have not got what they used to have. And 6 years ago it would have been the fight of the century, or he said that, and I was the one gunning for.
And comments from respected boxing voices only add fuel to that belief. John Fury has offered a more balanced assessment of Joshua's career. He recognizes that AJ is trying to rebuild after suffering setbacks and believes Joshua desperately needs a major victory to restore his confidence. A fight with Tyson Fury would provide exactly that opportunity, but it would also be one of the most dangerous challenges of Joshua's career. John Fury has also reflected on the fact that this fight should have happened years ago. 6 years ago, both men were closer to their primes, undefeated.
Tyson's looking in magnificent shape, best I've seen him in, to be quite honest, for a long time, and more importantly, mentally he's in a good place. And this is a big fight. He's in with a very, very experienced fighter who's a big man, big puncher. I think he's got a 90% knockout ratio. He's knocked out 17 of his opponents in the first round. So you know he can whack, and he's not phased about fighting over here. He fought recently over here and beat Dave Allen. And this is quite a tough comeback.
And holding world titles. At that point, Fury versus Joshua felt inevitable. Yet the fight never happened. Now both men are further along in their careers, and the magic of that original matchup has inevitably changed. That is why Fury appears so desperate to get the deal completed. He knows the window will not remain open forever. Frank Warren has meanwhile praised Fury's current physical and mental condition, describing him as being in exceptional shape. Warren has stressed that Fury understands the danger Joshua represents and is preparing seriously for the challenge.
Good, I think that mentally he's in a good place. Physically, he looked good as well. He's been working well out in Thailand, and I sort of agree with Paulie. I think that he's a massive addition to the heavyweight scene. He has been over the last 10 years, and I think it's good to have him back. You know, we need the characters. Look, are the legs still there? We're gonna...
Joshua remains one of the most dangerous punchers in the heavyweight division. One perfectly timed shot could completely change the fight. Spencer Oliver has also praised Fury after his training in Thailand, saying the former champion looks physically and mentally sharp. Oliver believes Fury's return is important for the heavyweight division, although he has raised one major question: whether Fury's legs remain capable of carrying him through a difficult fight. That is something only the ring can answer. Fury certainly appears ready to find out. His message has been brutally direct. Once the bell rings, he says his job is to seek and destroy Anthony Joshua. He has dismissed Joshua's comments in interviews, insisting that none...
I'm going to do my job and what I get paid to do. And that's seek and destroy.
Joshua thinks that fight's not going to happen. That's what he said earlier this week.
Joshua thinks, to be honest. It's a piece of too.
Is that just
and
because...
he's going to get a good hiding when I meet him and all.
Is that just because you've got to focus on this fight and you can't look past him, or is it simply because...
Their opinions don't mean anything to me. You know?
None of the talk matters once the fighters enter the ring. Joshua has spoken about the hard work going into his preparation and acknowledged the enormous difficulty of a fight at this level. He understands that a single well-timed punch could determine the outcome. But Fury doesn't want to hear about training. He wants the signature. Until Joshua signs, every statement from AJ about preparation will continue to be overshadowed by the accusations coming from Fury's camp. Carl Froch has delivered perhaps the harshest assessment of Joshua, arguing that AJ may be finished as a top-level heavyweight. Froch has questioned Joshua's punch resistance and suggested that his vulnerabilities have been visible for years.
So you can see how much work goes into them sessions. It's going to be a tough fight. No fight is easy. No matter how hard you train and how you just got to get lucky. You know, so what we're training for now is just to get lucky. Miss a punch that could have hurt, catch you with a punch that's going to hurt him. So it's kind of like when they say all in the bank, it's putting it all in the bank. And on June 1st, I'm going to have to check into my reserve.
Froch is correct. The Fury fight could represent Joshua's last opportunity to prove the doubters wrong. Lennox Lewis has taken a more measured position on Fury, arguing that the Gypsy King still has plenty to offer the heavyweight division. Lewis believes Fury needs meaningful challenges to stay motivated, and Joshua represents exactly that kind of challenge. Dominic Ingle has also highlighted Fury's boxing intelligence, suggesting that Fury has the tactical ability to figure out Joshua and exploit his weaknesses. All of these opinions lead back to one massive question. Why is Anthony Joshua still not signed? Is the delay simply business? Are financial details holding everything?
AJ's finished. He's got no punch resistance. I'm saying he's finished because he has got no punch resistance, and he hasn't. We saw that in abundance in round 1 against a nobody. So let's not skirt around it. Let's not try and dress it up in any other way. AJ's chin cannot take a punch. It's got a glass jaw, and it's never going to be solid anymore. It can't be. It's actually, I don't want to be too critical.
Is Eddie Hearn trying to finalize the perfect deal? Or is Joshua genuinely hesitant about facing Fury? The truth remains known only to the people directly involved in the negotiations. But Fury has already made his position clear. He is ready. He wants Joshua, and he wants the contract signed. For boxing fans, this could be the final opportunity to witness one of the greatest heavyweight matchups that never happened during its original prime window. If Joshua signs, the excuses disappear and the real fight begins. If the delay continues, Fury will undoubtedly keep the pressure on. Eventually, the The paperwork has to be completed, the gloves have to be wrapped.
Yeah. Do you think Tyson still has a lot to give to the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I do think Tyson has a lot to give to the heavyweight because, you know, he's a good boxer, and there's a lot of guys out there that he hasn't boxed, such as the guys due to box. You know, there's a guy, he could box a lot of people out there. But, you know, like he said, you know, who are they? They have to be somebody good for him to box, because he has to have that type of person. He has to have a challenge. If you don't have a challenge in there, it's difficult to step in there.
And these two heavyweight giants have to settle their rivalry where it belongs, inside the ring. So what do you think? Will Anthony Joshua finally sign the contract and make the Fury showdown official, or will the negotiations continue dragging on? Drop your prediction in the comments, smash the like button, and subscribe for more boxing news, fight updates, and heavyweight drama.